All right, thanks for joining us once again as we enter a very exciting time for the Kentucky Derby. A very big weekend coming up, very big Saturday coming up. So much so that we have a bonus show that we are going to provide everybody. And that is going to be, I guess you could look at it one of two ways, whether this is the bonus show or that's the bonus show. But bottom line is we're going to have 5 races we're going to handicap this weekend, including 2 Kentucky Derby prep races. One of our patrons gave us his race that he would like us to handicap, so we're going to do that as well. John, how's it going?
Good, Greg. How are you?
Doing good. Doing much better. I'm ready to go. You know, as Chad said, my mulligan is out the window, so I'm fully ready to be 100% all the way through to the Kentucky Derby and the rest of the season. So
very good.
So
by the
that
way,
line has been drawn through my week.
Anyone that didn't get a chance to watch you and Chad on Monday, another terrific show. You guys are really knocking it out of the park. I hear a lot of positive feedback, and everybody seems to love it, me included.
I appreciate that, and I'm sure Chad does as well. And he'll be heading out to, what was it, Dubai? Yeah, soon. And that's going to be a lot of fun, hooking up with Chad at Dubai.
That's long distance.
Yes. Can't wait to figure that one out. Okay, so what we're going to do is start this off with 3 races from Gulfstream. Now, there were some contenders at Santa Anita. The problem is there's going to be rain at Santa Anita. Is that correct?
Well, they canceled racing today because of the weather, so they're going to get that much rain today, it's certainly going to affect the track tomorrow. And they have all those turf races, so who knows if they're going to stay on the grass. By the way, they're offering a terrific contest for anyone interested, and it's free. If you go to Santa Anita's website, if there are 15 combined stake races between Gulfstream and Santa Anita tomorrow. If you happen to pick all 15 winners, you get $5 million.
I figured you just get maybe a mansion somewhere.
Well, you're getting $5 million, but you know what? Even if you don't get all 15 winners, they're going to split up a prize for the most winners. So it costs you nothing to enter. So why not?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like, you know, getting a perfect bracket in the suite in March Madness. No one could ever do it, but they offer you like the world if you happen to pull it off.
So there's going to be like a consolation, whoever gets the most, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so that's at the Santa Anita website?
Yeah, santanita.com.
Yeah, they have the handicap, of course, and so we were thinking, but those races, that wasn't compared to some of the races that we're doing today, just especially the fact that we're not going to even consider the turf races at Santa Anita either, so.
All right, and the big, their 2-year-old race, their 3-year-old race, I should say, for points, I think it's the San Felipe, right?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, and it's probably, I think there's 7 horses, a short fields again, and Baffert probably, let me just see. It is
I think it's the 6th race.
No, I think is it early in the card? You could be right.
Yeah.
Yes, it is the 6th race. You're correct. Yeah, so Baffert and Mandela have the 2 fast horses, Doppelganger and Forbidden Kingdom. And Forbidden Kingdom is trying 2 turns for the first time. Actually, they both are. So, you know, you have 2 short price horses. It's only a 7-horse field, something for the first time. You don't need a race like that.
That's what I figured. Okay, so, and we'll wrap that race up, though, on Monday with Chad. We're going to wrap up all of the Kentucky Derby prep races and update Chad's poll, because I believe we have 3 horses from Chad's poll that we're going to be talking about on today's show. But let's get started with the first race that we're going to talk about. And again, all 3 races on this show will be at Gulfstream Park, starting with race 9, a mile turf race, the Honey Fox. That's a grade 3 race for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. And this should go off about 4:10 on Saturday. Lovely Lovey. Say that. If I'm the guy at the track announcer, I'm going to be like hitting the guy who came up with that name.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, this is one of 2 straight horses for Safi Joseph. And this horse seems to be a little slow. Last time out, 16. That was off the turf.
Yeah, and this horse was a better horse last year than she is this year. She came off of Lasix last time and ran the 16 on synthetic, and she's back on turf today. By the way, the weather will be gorgeous there, so there's no problem. Somebody told you that there'd be a weather issue between Gulfstream and Santa Anita, you would have bet your life that the weather problem would have been in Gulfstream, but nope, it's in California.
Yeah, Mark.
Anyway, Lovey, not much of a chance against this field. As you'll see as we go through it, there are clearly faster horses in the race.
Yeah, Mark should probably actually go to the race. This should be one of those days that Mark Lawrence should definitely be out and about. Okay, the 2 is Sugar Fix. And Sugar Fix to me is an intriguing long shot at 15-1. This is Castellano on board because I'm not going to worry too much about the 17. That was not on turf; it was off of it, and I get it. It's not a good race, but let's just get rid of that race. But before that, last year, you're looking at the previous 4 races were 12, 13, 13, 13, 12. Not bad for a 15-1 shot in this particular race.
No, considering you have a chance to win the race with a 12. So, certainly she's a contender here. But again, it's a full field of 11. So you're going to have to start making choices. And, but again, a price horse like this, certainly I would have no problem with anyone that wanted to make a case for her. That's for sure.
And she likes the track. She's 5 out of 6 in the money with 3 wins at Gulfstream. All right, the 3 is going to be Jouster. A 9-2 shot. So this is one of the top contenders. You got the Pletcher-Saez combination, 2 for 2 at Gulfstream, but going in the wrong direction slightly over the last 3 races, 12, 13, 14, and coming off an 8th and a 4th place finish in those last 2 races.
Well, never mind that. She's coming off of a layoff since July.
So
that's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
No, and why would you want to play her at 9-2? I understand it's Pletcher, and he's hitting at about 35%, and every horse he's sending out is running. But there's no edge in playing this horse at a short price, and she's going to be one of the shorter prices, and I would certainly try to beat her.
Yeah, just look what happened to Mr. Baffert last week in his home away from home at Oaklawn Park when his horse just didn't.
Yeah, well, there were a lot of bad results last week.
Yeah. Okay, the 4. I'm not even going to care about how to pronounce this horse's name because she's too slow.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing here, but she's here.
It doesn't belong. The 5 is Bipartisanship. Bipartisanship. Yeah, I got my writing in the way there. Anyway, 5-1 shot, coming off a 12 in her last start. She's actually got back-to-back 12s. Graham Motion. This is his horse. So what do you think about this bipartisanship at 5-1?
She's actually going to be my top selection. I like the little improvements. I mean, she only has 5 starts in this country. She's actually gotten better in her last 4 races. She's got time from her last race. She's run over this track. She has a win over this track as well. Graham Motion is doing fine, and I think this is the right horse in here. I mean, you can make a case for a lot of them, but this is the one that I ended up on.
Okay. The 6 is Gift List, a 4-1 shot, 4 straight 12s. Matter of fact, I think that's the only sheet numbers we have, and they're all 12s, and they're all in graded stakes races. So what about Gift List?
Yeah, well, she's similar to the 5. The only difference is, that the 5 to me just looks like the right horse. And this horse is 4-1, where my 5 horse is at least 5-1. So for that reason, I went to the 5 over the 6.
Yeah, the 5 is, at least the 5, as you said before, is actually showing improvement over the last 4 races, where the 6 is just 12, 12, 12, 12.
Exactly.
Okay, the 7 is Alms, and Alms is, I believe, the favorite of the race, the morning line favorite. Rosario on board at 7-2, and you can see why. I mean, a very consistent horse. She's got a lot of 10s and 11s and 12s.
Yeah, she's fine, but she never came back to the 10s that she ran 2 years ago. Last year, she was only able to get down to an 11. She's 7-2. She's the morning line favorite. I mean, she's not better than anything else we've seen, or not that much better. And again, to me, she's somewhat negative. She had 10s 2 years ago, only able to get to an 11 last year, and now she's coming off of a 12, and she's the favorite.
Okay, next up is Wakanaka. William Mott horse. Jose Ortiz on board at 6-1, coming off of 14. First time here in the States. Last time out at Gulfstream Park, but finished 6th in that race. So 2 for 2 at this distance, but hard to really tell. Only one race in the state so far.
Yeah, she would have to improve off of her first start in the country.
She can do it, but
yeah, she could do it. But listen, she's not a price. She's 6-1. It's Mott and it's Ortiz, so they're going to take money. And I think I would play against that horse. That's for sure.
Okay, now here's my horse. How can I not take In Italian? Not only because of a great name, but look at the sheets. 21, 14, 12. No way this horse is going off at 8-1. It ain't happening. I bet you this horse goes off at 4-1.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, the problem with this horse is that she's drawn outside, but she's fine. She has speed, but there's other speed in the race. She certainly could run the 12 or better. She's never done anything wrong, like you said, and she's 8-1. So obviously I'm going to be using her, but she'll never be 8-1. Chad Brown and Irod Ortiz, that's just not happening.
And again, the sheet line is perfect, pretty much. Okay, Katama Moonlight is a 20-1 shot, long shot. Look, if she didn't have the race in February, you'd look at her sheets over the last 3 and you'd go, hey, look, 17, 16, 11. I like what I see. So at 20-1 with Safi Joseph and Gaff Leone, I wouldn't. This is not a bad long shot idea.
No, but this is another speed horse that's going to be involved, and she's got the 10 post. But if you cover that 111 that she has 2 starts back, she's just too slow.
And then the 11 is Navratilova. First time racing since October at 12-1. But Navratilova has a couple of 11s. Matter of fact, last 3 races, she has a 10, a 9, and an 11. So the time off is the only thing, but I'm getting 12-1. So I'm going to put Navratilova in my exotics with In Italian.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to knock her. I just think that she's outposted. And again, she's part of the speed brigade. So where's she going? She's going to get hung out to dry. I like the 5 bipartisanship. I would use them use her in exactas with the 6 giftless, the 7 aims, and the 9 in Italian. 5 with the 6, 7, 9.
All right.
That's the way I see the race.
And I'm going to do 2, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to put 7 of those long shots in there with In Italian. Okay, that's race 9 at Gulfstream Park. Now let's talk about race 11 at Gulfstream Park. And this is a 1 3/8. This is another turf race. This is the Mac Diarmida, excuse me. The Mac Diarmida Grade 2 race, $200,000 4-year-olds and up. And this is the race that Matthew Chimura picked, our patron. And we will get started with a Bon, the 8-5 favorite with Pletcher and Saez. Last 4 races, 14, 12, 11, 9. So we know this horse is going to go off as the favorite, winning both races at Gulfstream Park. So we got to try to beat this horse is really the deal.
Well, I wasn't a fan of doing this race, but since someone requested it, we're doing it because I think, unfortunately, that the favorite has a big edge, a Bon. You know, he's 8-5. He's Pletcher. He's Luis Saez. They're breaking from the rail, which really gives him a huge advantage. He's speed. He could sit off. He's just going to be in the right spot. He could handle the distance. He won a 2-mile race, 2 starts back. You know, he hasn't done anything wrong. You talk about perfect line, 14, 12, 11, 9, time off. He could repeat the 9, and if he does, he's going to be very tough. So what I tried to do is hook up long price horses underneath him to try to get some value. So that's the way I'm going to attack the race. I'm conceding the race to a Bon, but I'm using price horses underneath.
Yeah, because there's no way this horse is, in my opinion, going to go off at 8-5. This horse is going to go off shorter than that.
It's a full field. I mean, you have 11 horses. You have, good trainers, good horses
that's
in
the
here.
Hope. Yeah, that's the hope. Yeah.
It'll probably be 7-5, 8-5, like you said, or 6-5 even. But go ahead.
Kygo, 20-1 shot to 2 horse, coming off an 11, a 13, and a 10. So that's not all that bad. It's 20-1 when you compare the numbers with a Bon. Of course, Kygo doesn't have a 9, but Kygo does have a 10.
But Kygo is also coming off of Lasix, and the 10 that Kygo ran was in the other part of the world. It wasn't in this country. You
Yeah,
know,
she's been in this country twice. He's been in this country twice, and he's got 2 fifth-place finishes.
well, never mind that. I'm looking at the numbers, the 13 and 11. I don't care where he finished. I care what the numbers were. So, listen, you may get a price. He's not the worst idea in the world at 20-1, but I think he's more likely to go backwards than repeat since he's coming off a Lasix.
Okay, the 3 is Glynn County, and this is one of, 3 horses from Maker in this? No, 4. This is the.
I think Maker has 5 horses in this race. And,
Glenn, better win this race. Glynn County.
He has a 2 and 3 on Maker. The 8 is
4.
Maker. The 9 is Maker, and the 4 is Maker. That makes 5 horses.
Okay.
He has 5 out of 11 horses in the race. Nice going.
50% chance to win. Let's take a look at this horse. Now, if you take a look at the sheets dating back to 2020 through September of last year, that was a nice line. 15s, 14, 13, 11, 10s, 3 straight 10s. Then a 15 in October. But the good thing is the last time out ran a 13. So maybe the horse is headed right back in the direction. So, I mean, this horse is capable of running another 10.
This horse certainly should be used. I mean, I didn't use him in my numbers. I don't know why, but he's certainly eligible to make a forward move. And at 15-1, and you're getting Gaffleone, I would include this horse.
Okay, next up is the 4, Tide of the Sea, a 20-1 shot. This is another Maker horse, but this one going in the opposite direction.
No chance on this one.
The 5 is Lure Him In at 12-1, 3 straight 10s from July to October, 12 in November, and then 12 to start in 2022. That was off the surface, off turf. But what about the 5?
Yeah, this horse has a shot. He's similar to Glynn County. He has 10s last year. I used this horse underneath because he was 12-1, and I will continue to use him. So yeah. He's one of my hookup horses.
Yeah, another good long shot, without question. Next up is going to be the 6. That's going to be Safe Conduct, first race of the year. And look, besides the 9 in November, really I don't see much else here.
Yeah, but the 9 in November makes this really a good line because he ran a 10 4 starts back, bounced to the 18. The 10 was a top, right?
Correct.
Then he comes back off the layoff. He runs a new top with the 9 from the 10 to the 9, which is strong. He reacted to the 14. He's allowed to make a forward move tomorrow. He's okay. He's not the worst idea in the world. And he'll be longer than the 15-1 you see.
The 7 is Fantasioso. A 15-1 shot, back-to-back 11s. Matter of fact, this horse has 5 11s since June.
Yeah, well, that's why I included him, because he just off of, sheer consistency, he's always shows up. He never runs a bad race. The 19, he ran 3 starts backwards with big trouble. And, he's okay. But everyone's okay in this race. That's the problem. That's why I didn't like the race. The edge, the one has an edge. But he's going to be the big favorite.
But it's good that there are long shots to put with the 1.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
The 8 is not a long shot. Temple, Maker, Ortiz coming off 4 straight 11s before a 9. So we can see why this horse is 5-1. But look, we've got other horses in this field that have run 11s and 10s.
You have horses like the 3 and 6 that have 10s. This horse doesn't have 10s last year. He's got 1-9. This horse is a throwout at 9-2.
Can't make any money with that horse. The 9 is Media Blitz, another Maker horse with Rosario at 8-1, coming off a 13. But the 3 previous races were a 10 and 2 9s.
Yeah, this horse is okay. Out of all the Maker horses, this is probably the Maker horse I like best. The 13 last time out was a paceless race. So he could never get involved in that race, but they'll be going faster fractions tomorrow. And if you want to use him, I got no knocks on him, that's for sure.
The 10 is Sham Rocket, a 5-1 shot, Pletcher Castellano. And the last time we saw this horse on turf, or actually the last 7 races, were 5 11s, a 10, and a 12.
Yeah.
6 for 6 in the money at Gulfstream with 1 win.
He's a little slow, though. I mean, he's got, he's getting older, and he's Earlier last year, had an 8, never got back to it. Was able to get to 11s. He's only 6-1. You know, there are 11 horses entered, right? And Maker has 5 of them, and Pletcher has 3 of them. That doesn't seem right to me.
Gloucestershire, an 8-1 shot. Another Pletcher horse with Arad Ortiz, 2 13s in the States, the last 2 races.
That's not going to get it done. All right, so recapping, I like a band the best, you know, and then you got to look for possible horses to use underneath. Glen County, the 3 has a chance. The 5, Laura Jimenez has a chance. The 7, Phantasmo has a chance. And probably the 9, Media Blitz. So I like the 1 the best. I'm going to look for value. Possible hookups are the 3, 5, 7, and 9.
And I'm going to add the 2 in there for another long shot.
All right, there you go.
Okay, now the bonus race. That's right, 3 races on this show today, and then we're going to get to our second show. So, but again, keeping in mind, only one of these shows is free to the public, and that's not this one. So let's talk about race number 13 at Gulfstream Park. This is a mile on turf, the Grade 3 Herecomesthebride Stakes. We'll start with the 1, 20-1 shot, Last Leaf. And by the way, this the last race on the card should go off about 6:15 on Saturday. 20-1 shot, too slow.
Yeah, he doesn't belong here. And by the way, I like this race a lot, and I think there's a terrific.
Yeah, matter of fact, this was actually one of the backup races for Matthew. Yeah, so I was kind of surprised. I was all the races that I gave him, and all big races, and Matthew actually liked this race too.
He likes the grass racing, which is good because grass racing is good. Go ahead.
Right. Mischievous Kiss. First race for the season. First race for 2022 at 6-1. First 3 races, 16, 14, 12. Bounced a little bit to a 15 last time out.
I like this horse a lot. I like the way he worked her way down. She worked her way down to the 12. The 15 was the bounce off the 12 without any real time off, and it was a paceless race, and she had trouble at the gate in that race. Now she has some time off. She's been freshened up. She has a 12 as a 2-year-old, which gives her a license to run anything as a 3-year-old, and this is my top selection in the race. I like Mott off a layoff. I like Mott with Alvarado, and I like Mott in Florida with Alvarado especially, and I think this horse is sitting on a big race. Anywhere near 6-1 is a terrific price.
Awesome. All right, that's the 2, Mischievous Kiss. The 3 is an 8-1 shot, Diamond Wow. And in 2 races on turf, 23 to a 15, but 8-1.
Yeah, she has a 15 as a 2-year-old. She's eligible, obviously, to improve. Blinkers go on here. You know, let's see. She's going to be like a lot of other horses in the race. You're going to see. But go on.
Benderella, a 6-1 shot. Graham Motion, Jose Ortiz combo coming off a 16 to begin her career.
Well, that's good because Graham Motion doesn't win a lot first out. His horse he's usually very patient and takes his time. So the fact that she won first out means she's got another forward move in her. And I would use this horse. I expect her to make a forward move.
Okay. The 5 is Beside Herself. I don't understand why Beside Herself is a 4-1 shot. I guess it's because it's Irad Ortiz and Pletcher.
And she's coming off a win, but I would never bet this horse. Yeah. Not at this price.
Horse, the best. What was the best number for this horse? 16?
16 last year, yeah.
Okay, and that was the first race.
And she's coming back off of Lasix now. Yesterday, the 18 she ran that she won was with Lasix, so.
All right.
It's a negative horse at a short price.
The 6 is Lemieux. I'd like to get Messier in a race with Lemieux. That would be fun. Okay. But Lemieux's a 15-1 shot coming off a 16 in her first attempt on turf.
Yeah, okay. So, you know, she's like a lot of other horses. Isn't she like everything else we've seen so far with the exception of 2?
Yep. The 7 is Dia del Sol, and this horse is too slow.
No, this horse has never tried turf before, so we know nothing about this
and
horse.
A new trainer change.
Right, it's like a first-time starter. So if the race was on the dirt, yeah, she'd be slow, but we have no idea what she's going to do on the turf. She is 30-1. Chances are she's not going to run well, but, you know, I'm just, you know, if she won, you can't be surprised because it's an unknown. It's like a first-time starter.
Okay, Opalina, a 7-2 shot, and you have a good combo here. The trainer's off to a good start in the meet. Luis Saez, obviously, is Luis Saez. Anyway, the horse coming off a 14 last time out, and that's the best we've seen from Opalina so far. 5 for 5 at Gulfstream with 2 wins.
Yeah, but do you really want to play this horse at 7-2? I mean, she's off of a top last time out, so she has a chance to bounce.
Not when I can take the 2 at 6-1.
Right, exactly. And she had her top as a 2-year-old was a 17 on the grass. You've seen 3 or 4 horses that already have run better than that as a 2-year-old that haven't run yet. So she's out at 7-2.
Yeah, that's a big gap too. The 20 to 14, and she's never run the 14 before. So yeah, okay. The 9 is how do you make your money? A 12-1 shot. This horse has only run once on turf, ran a 17.
And it was in line because she got better next race off the 17. She ran a 16 and 14. So if those races were grass races, there's no reason to tell you that she wouldn't have run those numbers. The problem that I have with her is those races are all sprinting. Now she's being asked to stretch out to a mile. So for that, I held it against her, and those races were not run at Gulfstream, so that was another reason. But if you wanted to make somewhat of a case for her, you certainly can, but she's not making my cut. I think we have better options at longer prices.
The 10 is a 30-1 shot, Soul of an Angel, coming off a 22 on turf last month.
So that's too slow.
Way too slow. The 11 is Bally Del Sol. And Bally Del Sol is a 20-1 shot. Now, a couple of things. First of all, you like the sheets, 22, 19, 15. Unfortunately, we haven't seen this horse on turf yet, and she's got to be stretched out, but she's 20-1.
Yeah, well, she's like Dia Del Sol, the 7 horse, another one, both with the same father, but no, one's out of American Pharaoh, okay, never mind.
One's Del Sol, the other one's Del Sol.
Right, and they both are the same. Neither one has run on turf yet. Neither one has gone long, so it's a guess.
The 12 is Leah Marina, a Rosario Christopher Clement combo at 9-2, 17, 17, 16.
Hasn't done anything wrong. Clement could certainly win. The reason I went to the 2 is because the 2's drawn inside and has that 12. This horse has a 12 post going a mile. You don't want to be there. So, I mean, she has a shot because of the connections, that's for sure. But recapping the race, my top selection is the 2 Mischievous Kiss. I would use the 4 Spenderella underneath. I would use the 12 Leah Marina. And anyone else you want, possibly the 6 Lemieux at 15-1.
All right, there you go. So those are the 3 races for our first show. Again, we have a bonus race on this show. And this is the show behind the paywall on Patreon. And so we want to thank, of course, all our patrons. And hopefully we'll continue to grow on that site. And we just got to continue to win as well. So thanks for checking in with us. Coming up, though, we have a bonus show where we're going to be handicapping a couple of Kentucky Derby prep races right here with Jon Hardoon. So, John, appreciate it as always, and thanks for doing the bonus race and the bonus show.
All right, just remind everybody to tune in Monday afternoons to the best racing podcast show. That's not handicapping, just racing.
Thanks, John.
All right, be well, stay safe.